Hey, hey, Reverend JJ, here again. JJ Lotus Therapy Lounge, LLC. Hope everybody's doing okay. So today I am going to provide some information on pranayama and the importance of breath. So I'm taking this directly from my yoga teacher training manual. And for those of you that may or may not remember, I do have a specialized training in beam, breath, energy, alignment, and movement. And then I also have a children's yoga training, which focuses on kundalini. So I'm going to be kind of working on some of those things. Licensed mental health counselor, 200-hour yoga teaching certificate. I'm also an ordained minister, Reverend JJ, and Reiki practitioner. So healer of the mind, body, and spirit. Hope you guys are all doing good. So pranayama, it's all about the breath. It all boils back down to the breath. The breath is the life force, prana, which flows through you, energizes and enlivens you. What causes you to literally be alive is breath. Your activities, your state of mind, endurance, and your well-being can all be tied back to the breath, the yin and yang of life, the ebb and flow of the tides, the give and take, the cycles of what anchors all of us is connected to breath. Each exhale is letting go. Each inhale is a renewal of nourishment. Every cell in your body is affected by the breath. Fresh oxygen is delivered by the blood, which renews and revitalizes. Carbon dioxide and impurities are sent out of the body's cells with each exhale. Consider the balance that is brought to your life with your breath. So as we inhale, the focus is on will, energizing, activating, passion, analytical, experimental, sun, fire, wind, mountaintop, male. Exhale, surrender, soften, nurture, nourish, creative, intuitive, female, moon, water, earth, valley. So do you see how the energy flows, male and female, in and out, will and surrender, energize and soften, activate and nurture. You see how it's like a flux and a flow, an ebb and a flow. Balance must be achieved to bring health and happiness. We do this with our yoga practice. Take the time each posture to find the ebb and flow, to find where you want to energize more or soften more into the posture. We do this by listening to the breath. It will be your guide to where you need to travel in life to assist in coming into your balance. Your own body innately knows this, and the breath is the guide in that journey. Various breath techniques will be looked at. I'm going to start out with the basics. This is kind of like an introduction, so I have a flow of how I want to present some of these videos. So I'm going to start with the basics, understanding the connection of the yoke with breath and movement. So we've got to understand how to use the breath so that way we can go deeper into these postures. So today I'm going to teach the technique of Dirgha, D-I-R-G-H-A, Pranayama type of breath, and then I figured I would focus on the Ujjayi breath. which are two of the most effective and appropriate techniques to use for going deeper into postures for yoga. So when you pull away from everything, what's left is breath. The techniques are a way to coming into a deeper knowledge of yourself and to assist in causing the flow or the restriction of a breath in a particular way. All of your yoga practice comes back to this. That's the yoke, the connection of breath with movement. What are the gifts of the breath, and what can it bring to your practice? So Dirgha, Pranayama. This breath is a 3-part, full, deep breathing, the warm-up breath for all pranayama techniques. It's a full yogic breathing or a complete breath. It utilizes the full capacity of the lungs by consciously breathing into each separate area of the lungs. We take deep breaths, long and slow, bringing the breath into the 3 separate regions of the lungs. The lungs remain passive, and the contraction and release of the breathing muscles will cause the breath to move in and out. When the diaphragm muscles contract, it moves downward, causing air to enter the lungs, displacing the contents of the abdomen. This then pushes the abdomen out and often referred to as belly breathing. So as we inhale, you'll notice that the stomach is going to go out, and then exhale, it'll go back toward the spine. So sitting up erect and relaxed, or if you want, you can also lie down. You can be on your yoga mat or even on your mattress. Placing a hand below the navel. So you can see, this is why I had to kind of make this angle. So hopefully this works. So taking the hand just below the navel, so the navel's right here, I'm a little bit below it, but so you can kind of just see. So as we inhale, I'm going to inhale and you'll see that my hand is going to come out. Inhale. Breath is, stomach is out, belly is out. Exhale. Pressing back towards the spine. So my hand, as you practice, placing it below the navel, so below the belly button, and you'll feel the rise and fall of the belly. So let's practice this, just breathing and rising and falling of the stomach. There's no breath going into the stomach, it's through the lungs. So as we inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The rise and fall. It's just going to be a 3-part breath. So right now we're just breathing into the abdomen. So we're watching the rise and fall of the belly. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Shifting the palms to the sides of the rib cage. So here we are. So we're going to feel this, okay? Expand as you breathe into the middle lung area. So now we're going to fill up all of this air in here. It's a 3-part. So inhale. Exhale. You should be able to feel the ribs kind of like rising and falling. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Expanding. Exhale. Nice. Place the palms on the upper chest. Fingertips touching at the sternum. Breathe deeply into the upper chest and notice the fingertips separate with your breath. Inhale. Nice. You should have your fingertips kind of moving and shifting. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. So combine all three parts of the breath, and this is the 3-part Dirgha inhalation. If you want, you can place your hands down in your lap, or you can actually put them whatever works for you. Sometimes I take my left hand, I put it on my chest, right hand on my stomach. So inhale, all 3 parts. We're bringing it all together. So you want to inhale deeply. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. One more time. 3-part breath. Dirgha. Inhale. All 3 parts, rising and falling of the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Deep inhale. Exhale. Hands relaxed. That is the 3-part breath of Dirgha. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at what it will do for you. What are the effects? So, calms the mind, and it enhances introversion. There's a complete exchange of air in the lungs, oxygenates the blood, releases tension in the chest and the abdomen. Provides a gentle massage to the abdominal organs, improving digestion, facilitates a deeper experience of postures, and increases holding time. So you can use that breath if you're wanting to hold a yoga posture for a longer period. So be aware, it might be challenging to learn for beginners who are reverse breathers. So sometimes people haven't learned how to breathe properly. So when you're inhaling, your stomach's going in, and you exhale, your belly's going out. And it's the other way around. So this is why we kind of have to learn how to breathe, and we have to learn how to breathe properly. So reverse breathing means that their habitual way of breathing is to contract the belly on the inhalation. So belly goes in as you inhale. You can assist by having your breath go more into the lower lungs, allowing the belly to expand on each inhalation until this becomes comfortable. So you want to practice, because you don't want your inhale, belly doesn't go in. When you inhale, belly goes out. Exhale, presses against the spine. So now let's talk about Ujjayi, Pranayama. Ujjayi, breath. U-J-J-A-Y-I, Ujjayi, which is also considered to be ocean breath, or the sound of ocean breathing. So this breath is meditative and soothing. It's a form of pranayama that can also be used when doing your postures and going deeper into a posture. It's performed by taking long, slow breaths while slightly contracting the back of the throat in the area of the glottis. The subtle muscular contraction creates a hissing sound in the back of the throat that sounds like the rising and falling of the ocean waves. It is not made vocally, but rather by the flow, like a waterfall, of breath spilling over the back of the throat. So, sitting up erect, we want to relax the abdomen again. We want to begin with the Dirgha Pranayama for a couple of rounds. So let's go ahead, we'll take a couple of breaths here, and remember, we're inhaling, filling up all the lungs, all the way down to the lower abdomen, filling up the lungs, the chest, lungs, abdomen, abdomen, lungs, chest. Okay, yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing here? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not perfect. So, couple rounds here of Dirgha breath. Inhale. Belly goes out. Belly's back in. Inhale. Inhale. Gently close your eyes if you like. Allowing the exhale to be a subtle sigh for several rounds. So imagine as if you're fogging up a mirror. So as if you're taking your hand and placing it in front of your mouth, as if we're kind of breathing, going, and you fog a mirror, right? It's the same idea. So we want that guttural sound in the throat. So you want to inhale. Guttural sound in the throat. So I'm going to place my hand back down. So as if you're fogging up a mirror with your exhale, let the breath create the sound like a with the mouth open. So let's go ahead and try. Inhale. 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 Like a mirror, fogging over the mirror. Hand back down. Inhale. Ocean sounding breath. So after several rounds, as this feels comfortable, let the same sound happen while closing the mouth. And the exhale comes from your nose. So all yoga, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. But to get the Ujjayi breath. So inhale. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. You should hear the guttural sound. After several rounds, as this feels comfortable, allow the inhale and the exhale to happen through the nose using the same sound. Any irritation of the throat or sinuses, or if you start to feel dizzy or lightheaded, definitely stop for a few moments and then begin again. This will impact and affect relaxation of the body and calms the mind, increases concentration by using the sound of the breath as a focal point. It induces meditative states as the mind becomes absorbed into the sound of the breath. And you see how it's assisting us in being present and more focused on the moment. The key to happiness is being in the moment. Promotes greater control over your breath, helps stimulate circulation, your metabolism, and the suction of venous blood by contracting the glottis The same amount of air passes through a smaller opening, which increases the amount of internal pressure. So stimulates circulation, your metabolism, and the suction of venous blood, venous, V-E-N-O-U-S, blood through your veins. It assists in that, helps with circulation. Increases prana. Prana is said to be more readily available when the air passes through the top of the nasal cavity close to the olfactory nerves. Opens the alveoli and the lungs, allowing more complete absorption of oxygen. Generates introversion of the mind. Facilitates a deeper experience of postures and increases in holding time. So that's what I'm saying, like using the breath will allow you to go deeper into a yoga posture. But we got to get the basics down because we have to understand breath. Make sure that you're aware this calming breath can be encouraged to be used on and off the mat in any sort of stressful situation. So if you're stressed out, you can use this breath. Ujjayi is a meditative and soothing breath which can be used during your yoga posture. If you may wish to hold the breath for a few seconds at the end of your inhalation or at the end of your exhalation, this too tends to produce more focus. However, retention of the breath can be dangerous if you have high blood pressure or any sort of heart issues. So do not ever hold your breath if you have a heart condition. Another way to practice Ujjayi breath is to connect the inhalation and the exhalation, leaving as little space between them as possible. So allowing the inhalation and the exhalation to follow a continuous circular flow. So, I hope you found this to be helpful, and I do hope that you will use these techniques and practice. It'll help you stay calm, and this is what we need to be working on because there's a lot of chaos and crazy going on in the world right now. So we need to focus on calming the central nervous system, calming the system so we're not stuck in the fight or flight mode. We want to be able to be calm. So these techniques will assist, and I do hope that you found this to be helpful for you. I'm Reverend JJ. Namaste. Have a lovely day.